Hello everyone, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool, and today we are starting the second Fatalis mini, Crimson Fatalis, using the WizKids Adult Red Dragon mini as a base, because in all reality, it does look very close to Fatalis, and the Fatalis minis I've seen are extremely expensive, so I just rather do the Adult Red Dragon one and make it a massive one. And if you guys are enjoying these videos, hey, do me a favor, like and subscribe. It's free, it's easy, it's 2 clicks. I can't thank you enough, and it helps with the algorithm. But let's talk about Fatalis, let's talk about my plan, and let's talk about my ideas to really make Crimson Fatalis pop. Let's get the paints out of the way first. We used from Citadel, Mephiston Red and White Scar. And from the D&D Army Painter collab, we used Rust Monster. And lastly, I used a little bit of Vallejo's Thinner Medium because I don't have a lot of Mephiston Red, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I don't have a lot of Cambrian Crimson, which is the D&D Army Painter collab equivalent thereof of Mephiston Red. So I really needed to make the Mephiston Red really stretch, and the thinner really helped out with that amazingly. We got the entirety of Fatalis, the wings, the body, everything covered in red. Now, let's actually talk about the colors, the plans, and what I'm going to actually do, because Crimson Fatalis is not as crimson as you imagine. There's a lot of references for Crimson Fatalis out there, and the one I had originally used had it to be very red. And then when I actually looked at Frontier gameplay, which is essentially what I did for the first 10 minutes of stream that is not on this video, and it's not on the VOD either, because I was like, this is gonna be just 10 minutes of you guys looking at my hands and hearing me hem and haw at like what it actually looks like. In Frontier, it almost looks like, I think the best way to describe it is, it looks like a lot of the scales on its back, legs, arms, and wings are almost like hardened rock on top of lava. It still very much is the black dragon. It still very much is, you know, primarily black. However, it's got this undercurrent of lava. The sides where the ribs are going all the way down to the midsection, and the bottom of the tail have this red underglow that almost like pushes past the black. As an example, the arms at the very tips, like the fingers, and the scales at the very tips or of the spines, those all have this bright glow as if it's lava shooting out of a volcano. Not per se that it itself is lava. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it, if I'm being perfectly honest. It just feels like Crimson Fatalis's body is a lot of lava and a lot of fire covered by a lot of dark brown or black rocks. So my plan is to build up from red to orange to yellow depending on the body part. Parts of the ribs and the tails, as an example, like the underside, are going to be staying a base of that red color before we start adding things like black and shades and yada yada. Parts of the wings, parts of the scales, and parts of the spine are going to be more orange, and then other parts of the wings and the spines and the face are going to be very yellow. And we have to build up to that very slowly. It's going to start with a lot of dry brushing, and then I'm going to have to intentionally go out of my way, like you'll see on the wings, to specifically line out white parts for the cracks and the veins inside of his wings that are just pure yellow and pure white, that are just cracking out the entire time as if they are spewing fire live, right? And then I'm going to have to glaze it with a white so the white gets in all those nooks and crannies on the wings, and then glaze it with an orange so it becomes more and more an orange. And then I'm going to have to start specifying where that orange is. I'm going to start leaving alone those parts of the wings that support the bone or have the bone under them, because those are going to have to turn to a dark brown or black later on, with those hints of orange coming through. So essentially I'm going from brown to red to orange to yellow, back to red and orange on occasion depending on the part of the body, and then back to black and brown, which is going to be, I don't know. I feel like there's a much easier way to do it, and I bet you some like veteran in mini painting will have a much better idea of how to do it. However, I'm doing a lot of experimenting and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I imagine if I do this once a week, it's going to take me like 2 months to really finish Crimson Fatalis and give it the best work I can. And the first thing we're really going to focus on is the wings. I did the top part of the wings today to get it to that orange color that I'm really enjoying, so we're going to do the bottom part next time and get the bottom part to the orange color I'm really enjoying. Then we're going to get it to a yellow color and then to a white color depending on the part of the actual mini. And it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. And then, because then after that we have to move on to the main body itself. I'm excited and both terrified because like I'm gonna have to really work on the dry brushing skills and the pin painting skills I used with Fatalis's chest to really get that flame to look really good. A lot here. And that is gonna push a lot of my skills in those departments a lot further than I have been pushing them. I haven't done a lot of flame effects except for some salamanders and that Fatalis, so it's going to be tough, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And right now you can see just how much the color changed from that red to that orangey red, and just how much more it is going to change adding in those yellows and whites later on as a more prominent and prevalent color. So I'm very excited to do that. I'm very excited of how just the wings came out so far. I think they look marvelous. And hilariously, I think they kind of almost look like Rathalos wings a little bit in their color on the back. So I'm going to keep that in the pocket for when I decide to paint a Rathalos in the future. I'm going to just keep that knowledge right there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely going to have to do a lot more glazing. I'm definitely going to have to do a lot more dry brushing. And I'm going to have to do a lot more stuff. And I still want that red in there, but it's going to be one of those where it's like, it's just layer after layer after layer, and they're very thin layers, and they're going to take you a while. And that's just how it's going to be. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoy Fatalis, make sure to like and subscribe. It's free, it's easy, it's 2 clicks, yada yada. You guys know the drill. It helps out the algorithm. I'd be extremely grateful. But yeah, everyone, y'all stay safe. Stay Botanist Cool, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye, everyone.